What's up, YouTube? This is DEFCON 3 Security. I'm coming at you from somewhere here on Spaceship Earth. So today I'm going to be doing a new series called Security Rant and Raves. So I'm basically just going to talk about some random things that may or may not pertain to security. Might have to do with my everyday life, but that way I just have a way to vent, a way to keep us in the loop. And quite honestly, I'm sort of running out of content, but I love interacting with you guys because I am learning a lot of stuff. You've changed my opinion on quite a few things. You've recommended gear for me. You guys have basically helped me get closer to my goal. So again, I thank you very much for that. Having said that, I got a few questions or things I want to talk about on here. Number one, man, guns are sold out. So I haven't been to a gun store for like 2 months probably. And I'm thinking yesterday, you know what? I'm going to go purchase a couple firearms here. Truth is, man, I only own 2 firearms. I have my sidearm, which is my Beretta, and I have a shotgun. But I would like to get 1 or 2 more firearms because with this current political climate and all the craziness in this world, I'm thinking, man, I gotta have another gun. So I wanted to get like a small 22 for, end of the world scenario so I can shoot some wildlife and eat it if I need to, right? I'm not gonna be shooting it with my 9, so I figured just get a small 22 and maybe look at getting another 9. So I go to the gun store and, man, I kid you not, I think out of the entire store, and this was called, I think this store was called Elite Armory, and they're a pretty big size store. They even have a indoor gun range. Bro, I go in there, there's only 3 guns to choose from. I couldn't believe it. So I start talking to the guy, and I says, well, do you guys, I know this is a dumb question, but can you order a gun that I'm interested in? And they said no. This is at the moment, and then I bring this up. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it figures like everybody wants to get a firearm before the election. And he's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. He's like, right now we are backlogged for at least 6 to 9 months before we start getting any more firearms in. And that just blew my mind. So then I asked him about ammunition. Like, what about ammo? He goes, right now the hardest ammo to get is 9mm. Now, I don't know about you guys where you live, but here in California, man, it is nearly impossible to find any 9mm. I do have a friend of mine that does reloads, so I managed to purchase some off of him. But yeah, I hate bothering him because he makes it for himself, and we're not that buddy that I feel comfortable enough to keep bothering him to make me more. But yeah, so ammo, guns, sheesh. It's getting harder and harder to find. In California, I can't buy from somewhere else and have it shipped here. Evidently, there's something called Prop 65 in California. I don't know. I'm confused. This is all new to me. I was just researching it yesterday. A lot of these sites says do not ship to California. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I may be wrong, but a couple sites wouldn't let me put it even in the shopping cart. It says, sorry, we don't ship to California. The other thing that I'm having problems with is getting recertified. Now, as a guard that has a firearm, well, at least in California, every 6 months you need to recertify. You have to go to a range and basically show that you're capable of putting your bullet on the target. And I can't find anybody to recertify me. I've called up a few places, and they're not answering their phones. They're not getting back. Talked to the guy at the range yesterday. He said, yeah, we have limited capacity right now. We're not, having as many classes. We shut down the lanes. They used to have like 12 lanes to shoot in. He's like, now we have to have a lane open every 6 feet to keep that distance. 1 person per lane. Before they even let you into the gun store, you have to stand in front of their door, Somebody will come outside, get your phone number, then they will text you when it's your turn to go in, or give you like a 5-minute warning. Hey, be here within 5 minutes. We're going to have somebody meet you at the door. It's crazy. So I'm having a hard time getting recertified. So couldn't purchase a gun yesterday. Couldn't get any ammunition. And then on top of that, getting recertified, requalified to carry this firearm is difficult. And I'm running out of time, man. If I don't get recertified soon, I'm going to be an unarmed guard, right? And that's not going to work on this job site. So I did contact my boss and say, hey, man, do you have any insight? I contacted my old employer. They're not getting back to me as well, understandably. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. One last thing I want to bring up is, man, this place that I secure, we're getting a lot of people here that have tested positive for, you know, the one thing that's going around. I almost said it. And that's not limited to guards. Some of our guards have it. So it's a little bit scary. I mean, think what you will. Some people say it's a hoax. Some people say it's not. I mean, but the fact is we're getting guards here that have tested positive. And, you know, I'm trying to be extra vigilant. I'm washing my hands where I can. You know, I want to say I'm not touching my face, but that'd be a lie. You see in my video, I'm constantly touching my face or do one of these things. But I do that when I talk a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's a nervous tick or something. But, yeah, so it's a little bit frightening, man. I don't know how the rules work. I've only been with this new company for 2 months, so I'm thinking, if I get sick, am I going to be able to qualify for unemployment, or am I going to be out for a few weeks without pay since I'm so new? And, you know, these are some of the things that are just, it's the unknown, right? Nobody really knows what's going on as far as how the unemployment and all that works. You know, I talked to a few people and they're kind of uncertain too, and they have the same worries that I do. They're like, yeah, man, I don't know what would happen if I got sick. I mean, I have to have income coming in, and, you know, fortunately for me, I have several means of income, if you don't already know. So gosh forbid that I do have to temporarily vacate this job right here. I still have other means of income. But if I truly am sick, right, even those would dry up because I have to stay in the house, and those other incomes do rely on me leaving the house. So, yeah, guys, I guess, you know, I always tell you, be safe, know your value, know your worth. But when I say be safe, it's not just limited to watch your six, but rather keep safe in the sense that I don't want to see any of my YouTube family here getting this one thing floating around. And, you know, potentially, gosh, even dying, right? I mean, as morbid as that sounds, it would be sad to see one of the people on here not messaging and then find out, hey, they've passed away, you know. And we did have the hospital that I'm watching on one night. We had 4 people pass away because of this. And that's what's scary. I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, they have a special area in this hospital. And matter of fact, almost the entire hospital is cordoned off. They have these plastic like sheets that separate just about every hallway. So you have a hallway that leads into a bunch of rooms, plastic. Then there's another hallway that leads into a bunch of rooms, plastic, right? And it just, the whole hospital, there's like these plastic things, and it's sealed by Velcro. So you go, and then you have to walk through it, and then it seals back up. So it looks scary in there, man, let me tell you. And then there's one area toward the back, it's the red zone. And they're like, yeah, all the patients back there are running high fevers, 102 and above. And it's all, you know, the one thing floating around related. And I'm like, wow. So I guess there is some reality to this, you know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it. I think we're just sort of, all of us are kind of like in the dark about it. it's initially I thought, well, this is nothing but your common yearly flu, right? And then I got scared, and then I started seeing the numbers spike up and people passing away, and then the numbers went down, and it says no, it was not related, it was some other underlying issue. And I don't know, I really don't know what to make of all this. It's if anything, I'd rather just err on a side of caution, keep my hands washed, right, wear that mask, avoid handshakes and hugs and touching surfaces if you can. Whenever I enter that hospital, let me tell you, man, I go through the front door, right? Well, first of all, I put hand sanitizer on my hand. I open the door. I go, like, if I have to go to the restroom, really, that's the only reason why I go in there, is to use the restroom. I go to the restroom. I wash my hands before, right, okay, so I open the restroom door. Then I wash my hands before I even sit down or stand, whatever one I'm going to do. And then I try not to touch anything, including my phone. And then before I leave, I wash my hands one more time, use a paper towel to open the door, let it shut. Boom, I'm out of here. And hopefully I don't have to use it more than twice in one shift. If I'm on a 12-hour shift, I can guarantee you I'm going to use it twice. But yeah, so just be safe, guys. Again, guns are all sold out, at least in my experience. Let me know in your state, are you having a hard time finding any kind of firearms? Ammunition, gone, dude, really. All I have is, to be honest, I have like 500 rounds at home. So I have a few boxes. I mean, that's a decent amount. But, I know a lot of people that are running 2,000-3,000 rounds. And I'm like, wow. I did do, oh, you know what? I did some research on some sort of survival website. And they, one of the questions that was asked was, what is a decent amount of ammunition that a prepper or a survivalist should have? And it says the minimum amount that you should have, right? And I'm thinking, okay, what, 500, 600? The answer was, and they went into depth onto why they came up with this number, it's 2,000 rounds. And I'm like, wow. So the average person, again, if you want to prepare for that doomsday scenario, should have at least 2,000 rounds of ammo. So I am clearly short on that. I am only at 25% capacity, having 500 rounds. So I'd like to buy myself another 1,500 rounds. Again, can't find them. My recertification, I'm having a hard time finding somebody that's going to recertify me. Getting a little nervous about that. Maybe I'll need to call a few more places today. And last, just to recap everything, that whole thing that's going around, guys, just err on the side of caution. Whether you think this is real or not, it's still good to have it, to wash your hands and all that. But, I'm still on the fence about it. But when I'm seeing people actually expire where I work at, and having guards call in, sick and be tested positive, it's a scary thing. So that's it. All right, so this is my little rant and raves. I sort of got the idea from a good friend of mine, another guard, excellent guard. This guy is a wealth of information. He temporarily took down his channel, but it was basically security rants and raves. So, I've always wanted to do something on a daily. I just didn't really know what to call it. But it is a rant, it is a rave. So here you go. We're going to call this Security Rants and Raves, episode 1. All right. Let me know if you like it. If you want me to keep these up, I can probably do one on a daily. I do have another video that I want to come out with today. This one's going to be called, Should I Be a Security Guard Before I Become a Police Officer? And I get a lot of people asking me this, or even just talking about in the comments. They're like, hey, I want to be a police officer, but I figured first I'll be a security guard so I can get the experience and become more hireable. So I think my next video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. And again, everything I mentioned today or in any other videos, these are strictly my opinions. You know, I know just this much about everything, you know. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Do your research. If you feel like I'm saying something that's off, please mention in the comments. I have said things that were off, and people call me out on it, and I'm like, damn, that's good to know, man. I just learned something. And again, I'm here on this channel to try to relay information to you guys, but mostly I'm here to try to learn myself. And it's just sort of an interaction thing that we have going on here, some sort of a symbiotic relationship. I have always wanted to use that word, symbiotic. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the whole likes and subscribes. That all means so much to me. Hey, you know your worth, right? You know your value. But do you value your time? Because it's, you know, we only have that in limited quantities. But most importantly, be safe.